Okay, so I'm writing right now. I'm not gonna get into that, but I do want to say real quick, I'm at about 145 pages of going through the blueprint, and I think I'm just past the halfway point. I think a lot of my notes from here on out are a lot shorter per chapters because I think the total length of the blueprint was like 190 pages, but there's still like just as many chapters ahead as behind. But like I said, those are a bit more. I think I was getting tired when I was writing it. I was just kind of like putting the idea down. Oh man, there's so much red toned light in here. I don't like looking yellow like that because it makes my teeth look more yellow, and they're not that yellow. I hate that. That's something I do on my vocal cover channel of like making it black and white or reducing the amount of red light just because of the way that the cameras, um, you're supposed to have a little yellow to your teeth, but I'm super self conscious of any yellowness, and so I usually make the videos black and white so I'm not self conscious about it. I do brush my teeth, but it's just one of those things. I don't want to do a whitening strip. I don't want to weaken my teeth, but maybe I should just like once. I don't know. I do use baking soda and hydrogen peroxide occasionally to help that, but it doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. Anyway, that's not the point of this. I did want to say real quick that I'm getting a slight adjustment to my medications. For those of you that don't know, not gonna get too personal with it, but I do like to be transparent when it comes to like mental health stuff and whatever have you, just so others who are in similar neighboring situations can get a little bit of insight. And I take, excluding the metoprolol, because that's like heart stuff, which is not even, I don't even think I should still be taking it. It seems kind of superfluous at this point. But I do take a mood stabilizer. And it's very low impact, but it is something. I take 50 milligrams twice a day in the morning and at night, and which is like just below the average of level of like what people would normally be on with it. I think Dylan takes like 100 twice a day or something like that. Um, but now, after speaking with a lady who's standing in for my psychiatrist while he's on medical leave, I guess, or something like that. I don't know a situation. Um, we decided to bump it up from 50 twice a day to 75 twice a day, which is a little bit more, but it could make a decent difference in my mood. I took 75 last night and I took 75 this morning. Um, and I'm going to continue to take it twice a day and see how that works out. So, I don't think it'll make a huge impact, but if it brightens my mind a little bit better, if it helps me focus, if it helps me go to bed and not get super anxious late at night about dying and existentialism, oof, then I'll be happy about that. And the other thing is, we decided to go on a trial run, I think like a 10-day trial of a medication that I think it's literally like 1 milligram, where it's like, I don't remember what the medication was called, but it's used for something else and also shows great benefits of helping people stay asleep. Um, I don't remember what it was called. I just too many things on the phone, whatever. But yeah, essentially, because I was explaining, how much sleep I get and whatever, and how I wake up so many times throughout the night. Um, and as far as I know, it's not gonna like help me get to sleep. I'm not having as much problems getting to sleep now because I am waking up earlier. My days are still. Let me see. Um, 12, let's see, 12, 14, 16. My days are still 18 hours, roughly. I'm awake for like 18 hours, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little less. It all depends. On average, between 16 and 19 hours is how long I'm awake during a day. Um, at 19, like less often. I do usually get between. Well, it's hard to say because like I am in bed between 6 and 8 hours, but I'm not sleeping that full time. I'm probably losing 1 to 2 hours, sometimes more, of sleep with how often I wake up. Because usually when I wake up, I'm not like, I don't get up and I start doing something, or I don't sit there and like watch the TV or whatever have you, but I'll wake up and linger there and kind of like drift off again, but then I'll wake up in like 10 more minutes. And whenever I am sleeping, I'm not typically getting into a deeper sleep. It takes me falling asleep and waking up a bunch of times before I finally get into. I probably get like maybe 1 or 2 hours of REM sleep a night, generally, unless I have a night where I'm just dreaming a lot. And if I'm dreaming a lot, then obviously I'm in a deeper sleep. Um, but then again, I dream rapidly. Like, I'll dream like 10 different dreams in the span of like an hour, you know? Sometimes I'll wake up at, say, 6 a.m. and um, from having a dream, and then I'll go back to sleep and I'll dream that dream, a continuation, a sequel, and a side story, and wake up and it's like 7:10. So it's really hard to explain. It's hard to get into because it's all so inconsistent. But this medication at a very, very low dosage might help me stay asleep, which means I can comfortably go back to my preferred 6 hours of sleep a night. I function best, I think, at 6 hours of sleep a night. Um, Hell, I used to get like 3 hours and then go to school and then go to work and then whatever have you. Obviously, because I'm getting up earlier now, I am waking up between 8 and 9 usually is when I'm waking up. I'm enjoying my mornings a little bit more because when I wake up, I don't feel as guilty playing some games earlier in the morning. And also just like at night, I'm not motivated to do a lot at night and I'm not really playing anything with anybody. So, which means that well, like while I'm getting up earlier, then yeah, I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep easier because I am just more tired. I'm still going to bed. I'd say probably falling asleep between 1 and 2. Um, Usually I lay down to try. I get in bed between 12 and 12:30 just to lay there, dick around on my phone, sit on my laptop, do some stuff, watch some YouTube, or work on a project in my room. I usually like retire to my bedroom around 12, and then while I'm in there, I'll just kind of like do random stuff, maybe lay in bed, maybe work on something, maybe clean, maybe do laundry, whatever. And then I start trying to go to sleep around 1 or 1:30, and then usually I around probably 3 is when I finally start to get into a slightly deeper sleep. Like I'll be on and off sleeping between 1 and 3 or 1:30 and 3. Um and then I'll be waking up around 8 to 9. So yeah, maybe this new medication will help me actually stay asleep a bit longer, which means I'll be more rested, which means I can feel more motivated at night to do more things, which means I can go to sleep, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. Um, we're gonna see. So it's just a trial run. We'll see how it goes. And also what definitely helps is not only am I getting up earlier, but I am having less caffeine throughout the day in general. I would usually have like 300 milligrams to start a day with like a bang or like a monster that has like over between 2 and 300. But now my habits have just been my favorite kickstart, which is the pineapple orange mango, and this only has 90 milligrams of caffeine. And then that's how I start my day. And then throughout the day, I might have like an extra, I don't know, between 50 and 100 just from like soda. If I have like a Diet Coke or a Mountain Dew or something like that, then I might have a little bit more caffeine throughout the day. But it's like a steady flow of caffeine instead of like a burst of caffeine and then more. So definitely a combination of the caffeine and just getting up earlier means I'm falling asleep easier a tiny bit earlier than I used to, because 3 o'clock was my like preferred time to go to bed. But I've also just made a habit of like finishing up gaming and stuff around 11, because then I get up and I go watch Supernatural with a friend. I watch an episode of Supernatural with a friend like every other night roughly. And so like by 11 I'm getting ready to get off games, unless I'm invested in a game, or unless I'm playing multiplayer with Jake or something like that, or unless I'm streaming, then I'll continue playing. But I usually just get off games between like 11 and 12 now. They're not really holding my attention as much anymore, and I don't have a whole lot else to do unless I have videos to edit. But because I'm awake in the morning, I'm editing videos or recording videos in the morning. So my days basically just kind of flipped, where I'm doing most of my stuff in the morning and less stuff at night, unless I'm again playing games with friends or whatever. Because if me, Dylan, Jake, and Nin are all playing a game, then I'll be on the game till at least 12:30 sometimes, which is an hour longer than usual, or even longer than that, depends on when we start. But it's all just kind of flip flop. But I guess that's just part of getting older. Your schedule just kind of changes because you get tired of the same schedule. I got tired of being up that late at night and then sleeping and feeling guilty. You know, I feel guilty about being awake late at night, but I would feel guilty about sleeping in too late during the day. You know, because your perspective just kind of shifts. You know, I wake up and I'm like, man, I get hit with the idea of people have been awake and the world has been awake and alive for like at least 3 hours by the time I'm getting out of bed, and I kind of feel like a piece of shit for that. Even though I shouldn't, there's nothing wrong with it. If that's your circadian rhythm, then that's fine. I'm not damning anybody for doing that. Although I do kind of draw the line at waking up past 12. If you have a regular like first or second shift job and you're sleeping in past 12 or past 1, get it together. Come on, shift that back a little bit. If you're working third shift, then fuck, your sleep schedule is whatever it is, dude. Get some rest. But like, yeah, I don't know. I try not to cast judgment on that because I was the same. I was a go to bed at 4 a.m. and get up at 12. Hell, I used to wake up at 3 and then go to work at 3:30 kind of thing. But yeah, things have changed with the sleeping, and I'm not opposed to it. It does, but now I have a guilt of like laying down earlier because I'm spent my entire life being awake at night, and now it's just kind of backed up a little bit. So I don't know. I just want to talk about that. Yeah, so we're gonna see how this medication, upping that small amount of my dosage and then introducing this new one, see how that works, and I'll talk about it again at some point.